Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Gooner, and also welcome to viewers on Arsenal FC Fans. We are back with another video for you today on both channels. Obviously, we had the FA Cup tie where we beat Sheffield 2-1. Listen, it was great to get a win, second win on the bounce, so that's always nice. But listen, we're here to talk about we're here to talk about whether or not Arsenal can win the FA Cup, and also in this video we will be bringing you the FA Cup draw, which is due in approximately about 15 minutes. I believe it's going to be done at halftime in the Manchester City Newcastle game. But listen, I'm going to introduce my guests this evening. And first of all, I'm going to introduce Sankal. How are you?
Hey, thanks a lot, Daniel. I'm good.
And how did you feel about the game today?
It was a good game overall. I think we didn't start well, right? Sheffield was all on us the first 20-30 minutes. But the moment we scored the goal, I think it changed a bit. The balance was right. We were up there with Sheffield for the rest of the match. They had a few chances. We also had a couple of chances which we could have scored, right? But overall, I think the fact that we went through, it was a proper FA Cup match, right?
Yeah. Listen, it was certainly obviously Arsenal like to keep us on our toes, don't they?
Always.
And my second guest is Ryan Fletcher. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Daniel. Thank you for the invite. I'm still a bit pumped from earlier on because, as I said offline, when they equalised, I thought we were going to throw it away because there was us on the onslaught, and I was like, oh no, we had it. A few more minutes, we were doing everything according to the plan, and then literally, of all people, the Bios with his greasy hair pumped it in, and then got us a semi-final, and Arteta's first semi-final for someone who's got no experience. Done pretty well, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, listen, it's and also going to be joining us is Nitesh. He's just doing something at the moment, but he will be in shortly. So listen, guys, obviously we're going to talk about Arsenal and can they win the FA Cup, and listen, we'll start off with the initial thoughts. So Ryan, I'm going to come to you first. Do you think that we've got a chance of winning the FA Cup? Because obviously Chelsea are through now. They beat Leicester. To be honest, Leicester were pretty unlucky in that game. They could have easily caused an upset there. I'm not entirely sure what it's going on in the Manchester City game at the moment.
It's currently 1-0 Man City. De Bruyne penalty about 2 minutes ago.
Currently 1-0, so we can assume that they're going to go through unless Newcastle pull off something remarkable. And then obviously you've got Man United, who when I was talking about this on the watch along I done earlier, I was saying that Man United out of the three teams is probably the weakest team. So if Arsenal were hoping for anybody, it would be Man United. So yeah, how are you feeling? Can Arsenal win the FA Cup, or how do you see the rest of the competition playing out?
First off, I think we can win the FA Cup. We think we've proven it before in 2017, the last time we won the FA Cup. Semi-final, we had Man City, and everyone wrote us off. Didn't ever give us a chance. We went 1-0 down, came back and won 2-1 in extra time, and in the final, we're playing the Premier League champions of Chelsea. Again, got voted off massively, even by our own fan base, and won it there. So again, we can win it. I think we will win it personally. The only team that could really pose a threat to us, in my opinion, is City. And even on our day, if be it semi-final or a final, we play them, Arteta's going to prove a point, because after what happened last week, he's going to put his strongest team out and actually prove a point to Pep and everyone else that what happened last week was a one-off. let's not forget Arteta's won this FA Cup. And plus we won this FA Cup the most times out of every club in the country.
Yeah. Listen, we have. And what do you make of it, Sam Calder? Can we win the FA Cup?
Yeah, I'll agree with Ryan, what Ryan said, right? I think overall the team has potential. We have played some good games, right? United, we defeated them at home 2-0 this season, right? Chelsea, they really got away with some very seasons for them when they visited us at Emirates, but we were back there at their place, which we drew 2-2, right? I think these are the two teams that we can really go out and fight with. City, obviously, right? I think the quality is there for them. They are a bit superior in terms of quality, but then at the end of the day, FA Cup matches is all about the day, right? How well you can play on a day, whether you can come out a bit early than the other team. I would, like you, I would prefer to, meet either United or Chelsea in the semi-finals. City, I do not want them to because I think we also need a bit of money before we go and try it out against City. But I think yes, overall we have the potential. We might win it.
Yeah, and obviously Nitesh has come back in. So Nitesh, what are your initial thoughts on the FA Cup? Can we win it?
See, I would prefer to play our game against Manchester United because of the reason is that they are the ones who are trying to catch up to Chelsea, and they are the ones under maximum pressure. And Manchester City has a lot of squad depth. So if we have to play them, then it better be the final. And if we play them in the semis, then they have a possibility of beating us. And that could be a comfortable win for them. Chelsea, the thing is that Lampard has used a lot of his squad players as well in the game today as well, if you saw. So he has been rotating the squad around as well, and they have quite a comfortable lead right now, 5-point lead over Manchester United. So they don't have that much pressure as much as United may have to perform in the league as well. So if we get a draw against Manchester United, we have a good chance of beating them.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, like I said before that Man United are the weakest team. And now I've said that, we'll probably get drawn against them and they'll probably beat us, which is usually what happens with Arsenal.
Well, the thing is, as we saw, sorry, Daniel, as we saw yesterday, if Bruno has a bad game, Man United are ineffective. When he's not firing on all cylinders, they're ineffective. So if we nullify, if we were to get United in the semi-final, and we just completely nullify his abilities, it's in our hands. Then it's ours to lose.
And no doubt when we play them, if we play them, Bruno Fernandes will turn into a Brian Ronaldinho or something like that, which is usually what we do to players, don't we? Like players who are out of form, and people are like, oh yeah, he's out of form. When they play us, they turn into blooming prime players. So listen, I do think United is the weakest team. Chelsea, I wouldn't like to play Chelsea because they've got the wind up them at the moment. So they could beat anybody, and Frank Lampard has got them playing well. He seems to have clicked as a manager with those group of players, even though they're a young group of players. He seems to have got them buying into his philosophy, which at the moment I don't think Arteta's quite got that, because I think that the part of the problem is the majority of these players are uncoachable. So therefore, it doesn't matter what philosophy you try with them, they're never going to buy into a manager, whether it's Arteta. They didn't buy into Unai Emery's philosophy. And listen, if we sacked Arteta and got in a new manager, they probably wouldn't buy into his philosophy either. So I just think we've got a poor group of players that need to be changed at this club. So when you look at all those situations that, with the teams, United is probably the one who would please Arsenal fans the most. I can't see us beating the Man City. Listen, we played them every time we play them. They always get a result against us. Chelsea, it sort of depends on whether we turn up or not. But United, listen, yeah, we could easily beat United.
Yeah,
We could easily beat them.
We proved
Yeah.
we proved that back in the New Year's Day.
Yeah.
but at that point of time they didn't have Bruno. But the problem is, I'm not worried about Bruno that much as I'm worried about Pogba. If he's on song, then he could be the problem for us. Pogba versus Xhaka, seriously.
You say that Xhaka's come back in the last 2 games. He has actually stepped up his game, actually put a decent performance in. It just depends if he can keep that going now, that momentum.
Yeah, but then today, if you saw, Xhaka wasn't anything special. He wasn't really tested, but he will be tested against the midfield of Bruno and Pogba.
I think on a separate note, now that I think about it, playing Chelsea will not be, very bad. Why? Because I think United versus City is something that stretches a bit, right? United have defeated Pep's side a couple of times now, and if United beats City in the other semi-final, we take care of Chelsea. We might have a easier draw in the finals. That's also interesting.
The problem with Chelsea will be, but our team is not able to cope with the fast attack. Like, that is why City destroyed us, Liverpool destroyed us. The fast attacking teams destroy us. Even Olympiacos beat us because they had quick players like Sarr. And now the thing with United is their attack isn't that quick. And I think that is why we are suited, and that would be the best team to face in the semis.
Yeah. Listen, I'd rather whoever you get in the final is going to be a difficult team. I think we got to focus on getting there, because on our day, in any on a one-off game, we can beat anybody. I genuinely believe that we can beat anybody on our day. And in a cup final, listen, we got a good cup record despite the weakness of the team. We just seem to, FA Cups seem to be our competition. So we can beat anybody on our day.
Yeah, definitely. Even what is as it stands our worst season to date in Premier League history, we're still having a better season than that lot down the road.
Yeah,
They've got a better squad than us.
And I think it would be good if we could be if Arteta could bring home the FA Cup. He will have done more in being manager for a few months, because you factor in as well that he's only been manager of Arsenal for less than that, because you would take out 3 or 4 months of that, because you don't count the months. You don't count the months where we had the pandemic, because he didn't really do nothing.
So when 4 months.
When you factor in all that, he's effectively been manager for 4 months, and if he could bring home an FA Cup in 4 months, he would have done more than what Pochettino did at Tottenham in his whole Tottenham career. So, yeah,
that'll kill that lot down the road even more.
Yeah, they're stuck with aging Mourinho, with Mourinho. So listen, it'd get one over on them. It'd bring a trophy. It would set the benchmark. So it would set to do that with this group of players. That would be a big achievement for Arteta, considering he's not managed a team before. It would kickstart that winning mentality, and then come the summer, we can bin a load of these players and start the rebuilding process. So yeah, listen, I don't think I don't think we will win the FA Cup, but you never know. With us, we've had poor seasons before, and we've pulled it out of the bag. I know, Ryan, you were alluding to 2017. We beat Man City and then we beat Chelsea. So
both times against the Arsenal were written off both times.
yeah. So listen, anything's possible. And Chelsea back then, when we beat them, had a far better team than what they've got now.
Mm.
Yeah.
So they had the likes of Hazard. They had like David Luiz. Ironically, now we've got him, which is ironic because we'll probably we could get Chelsea in the final again, and David Luiz will fuck up, but only this time it will be for us.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, the draw is coming up in a minute. The draw is coming up.
If I remember rightly, it was David Luiz that screwed up in that game in 2017. If I remember rightly.
Yeah, he was involved in the Sanchez goal situation. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So if that doesn't really bode well for us, does it?
No, but the thing is that if we are in a semi-final or a final, I think David Luiz won't be playing. He won't be started. The reason he has been started this time is because Arteta wanted to try something different and probably go in with more attacking options. Like the wing backs would be used as more attacking options because it was going to be Sheffield. So that is one of the reasons, who sit back and sit deep and they try to defend more. So, but I think against a team like Chelsea, he's not going to try the 5 defenders unless he has some trick up his sleeve where he wants to play some of the long balls. And mostly, obviously, Aubameyang will be back in the team as well. And probably 1 or 2 more changes in midfield as well. Torreira would be back by then.
Yeah. Nitesh, would you like to read out some of the chats?
Yeah, and the one thing that I'll just update you first, I think the draw is almost out because Liam was saying to that the draw is in a minute away. And Liam is saying, I believe that they should go all in for that and not worry about league. And Miss Melina is saying great thumbnail, which was Arteta winning the lifting the FA Cup. And Ryan then went into imagine Arteta walks into a mess and he's talking about the FA Cup. Suddenly, unlike Emery, he has pull when he comes to telling the board to get his own players. Ryan, that's a good fantasy, but will it happen with Arteta?
Because literally last summer, Emery put out saying he wanted Zaha, this, that, and the other, and they went the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Whereas if Arteta came in and won something, he's got more of a leg to stand on what Emery did, because Emery didn't. We was in the final, we had it in our hands twice, and he bottled it, to be polite.
Yeah.
Whereas Arteta would have that leg to stand on.
Do you think?
With this mess I got here. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you think if Arteta does win the FA Cup, they will listen to him despite like whatever plans they have?
Possibly, yeah, because all of a sudden he's won something with, even though it's an FA Cup, in some people's eyes, it's a trophy. It's that first bit of turning the mentality around at this club, and he's done it with this squad of players that were falling apart at the beginning of the season. Suddenly he can go, well, if I can do it with this, imagine what I can do with my own players. These are the players I want, and suddenly they'll listen.
I think they'll listen to him more than Emery. For the simple fact being is that they wanted Arteta before Emery come in. It was only prick Gazidis that brought in Emery, and that was his parting shot. It was odds on that Arteta was going to get the job. And as soon as Emery got sacked, they went out and got Arteta. I don't think there was any other manager in contention. I don't even think they spoke to other managers, if I'm being brutally honest. I think it just got thrown. The reports just got thrown out there about all these stories of top managers refusing to come to Arsenal. Because listen, those stories look good. They're clickbait stories, and people would read them stories and believe them. So I think that's why those stories were put out there. But yeah, I think they really wanted Arteta, and I think that's why they hold off in bringing him in, so they could make sure that he that he wanted to come. And on the flip side of that, I've said it many a time on watch-alongs and on various other streams that Arteta wouldn't have took this job unless he had certain guarantees, because the guy's intelligent. And he, whether you question his ability as a manager, listen, the mistakes he's made, you could put down to inexperience as a manager. That doesn't necessarily make him a bad manager. That just means that he's got to improve and he's got to learn by those mistakes. But you can see that when he talks, he's intelligent, and I don't think he would have took this job unless he had certain guarantees of who he can bring in and certain guarantees of having certain controls over bringing in players.
No, I think, but
Because
at Arsenal,
I don't think he would have looked in this. He would have looked at this squad before he took the job, and he was going, "Listen, this squad needs major surgery." And he would have told the board that. I can't see him coming into this team thinking that this team was going to turn out to be world beaters. I think he already knew. And you could tell that when he come in and when he gave his first press conference, you could tell that he was watching. Remember, a few days before he took the job, we played Man City at the Emirates, and he was there on the Man City bench. And then that Sunday night when they went, when obviously Man City went home, he had a meeting with Vinay on that same night. So he would have looked at that game and thought, listen, this squad needs major surgery. So yeah, listen, I believe in Arteta, and listen, you're not gonna get. There's always going to be bumps on the road with whatever manager you get in, especially with these group of players because they're shit. Most of them are shit. So you're gonna, there's going to be bumps on the road, and Arteta is going to make mistakes as a manager. Listen, he's not an experienced manager, so he's going to make mistakes. But that doesn't necessarily make him a bad guy.
So just to add, I think the recent comments of Edu, right, when we completed the signing of Pablo Mari, he was speaking about how when Arteta came in, he very clearly said he wanted a left-footed central defender, right? He was clear about what he wanted, about the qualities or the skills that he was looking for, and the team backed him, right? They went out and found Mari. They signed him with a view. I mean, back then we knew it would be a permanent transfer before he even played, right? And even now he's played just 3 games. But it was the skill set that Arteta had defined, which translated into our transfer window. So I feel yes, obviously. I mean, it's very difficult to say that Arteta will get the players that he wants. I think it would have happened if the COVID scenario had not happened, right? Before COVID, I think he had got a guarantee that they will go for party, right? They would have immediately, triggered the release clause. 40 million is not very much. I mean, looking at how much Arsenal's pays nowadays. I mean, look at our last summer window, right? But with the new COVID thing, I think it will be difficult. Arteta might have to look at backup to some of his, ideal targets. But at the end of the day, I have no, confusion that Edu will work alongside Arteta to finalize.
yeah, what I was trying to say is when they wanted to sign Arteta, and if you feel that he was their first choice, there were like 5 other names before Unai Emery, but they still went ahead to get Unai Emery. And the next thing is Ancelotti clearly said that I did not want to sign for Arsenal. They did have some kind of talks with him, or they did try to get him, but his wage was too high. First of all, I think it's double of Arteta, and the second thing was obviously they don't have any budget. They don't give any proper budget. The reason we have probably been able to get Pablo Mari because he's quite cheap and his pricing is not high. Also, one more thing, considering the fact that Pablo Mari was wanted by Manchester City, they wanted him back because they saw him how he was playing in the Club World Cup as well. And yeah, I agree to one thing that probably Gazidis would have not listened to Emery like he did not listen, and he did what he wanted. Probably Edu and Raul will probably listen to Arteta a bit more than normal. That what Arsenal used to do is back in the day. So I don't know whether they'll be able to get Partey or not, because that is looking like another tipsy-topsy deal. But I think they may be able to get some of the cheaper players. So that's what we can hope for, some free agents and some cheap players.
I think we'll get Partey. Listen, I've still not written that off for the simple fact being that the player wants to come. So it's just a case of
Told you all. Told you all. The draw's been made.
Okay, so Nitesh, who's got the draw there?
Arsenal versus City, United versus Chelsea.
Told you. called it about 2 hours ago.
Yeah. So that's us out there. That's us out the FA
Now,
Cup.
every Arsenal fan will be praying that Newcastle can beat City for the next 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, because they're still playing, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not City yet.
Great.
so come on, Newcastle.
Or the other thing is Newcastle probably takes out Kevin De Bruyne because
Yeah.
Aguero is already gone for the season. So now if Kevin De Bruyne is gone, it could be a balancing act.
But the good thing is you play at home, right?
No, it's going to be
Yeah.
at Wembley, right?
It's at Wembley.
Both games are at Wembley, yeah. I think whoever wins the Arsenal City game wins the cup. Because the other two are too weak, in my opinion.
No, we could beat City and then we could lose to one of the other teams. You never know.
So how are people reacting to that in the chat, Nitesh? What are
Okay, let
they?
me quickly go on to the things. Manchester United versus Chelsea, Arsenal versus City. Oh my God, Man U versus Chelsea. Liam is saying. Simpy also said the same. Simpy, we are at home. How are we at home? It's happening at Wembley, right?
We're the home team, so we'll be in the home dressing room, basically.
Oh, okay. So that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Miss Melina saying, wow. Tyrone saying, Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. You need to start praying. Miss Melina saying, we play at home. Wow. Again, what home? That is what I'm not understanding. Liam is saying Arsenal versus Newcastle.
So basically, we're playing at Wembley, but we're the home team.
We'll
So
be in the England dressing room.
And we'd have our home kit.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, in normal circumstances, I think we'd have a majority of the tickets as well, obviously, but that doesn't count because the games are behind closed doors. But yeah, we'd be the home team.
Aren't we kind of doing better in the yellow kit?
Bit 50, I don't know. As long as we wear a blue kit, we're fine. Apparently, we don't win on a blue kit.
They can run out naked. They can run out naked as long as they fucking play well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That'd be distraction. This is beating 4-0.
Daniel, that's a very weird fetish you got there.
Well, no, I'm just saying that it doesn't matter what they wear as long as they do the job on the pitch.
Okay, I'll just quickly go through some of the comments as well. Simpy saying, come on, Newcastle. Miss Melina, come on, Newcastle, get in. And Gareth is saying, Manchester City it is. And Tyrone is saying, Manchester City scored already. Yeah, we know 1-0 they're leading, but anything can happen in the second half. Newcastle can do a Liverpool or a whatever.
Watford.
They can do something.
Do a Watford.
Yeah, do a Watford. And Simpy saying, Tyrone, they have only touched the ball like once, apart from goal kick. And Liam Demo is saying Spurs gonna win it next year. You sound like a Liverpool fan now. Anyway, Simpy is saying and the normal chat going on. And Omar is saying we face City. And Simpy is saying if Xhaka starts, maybe we'll keep our 100% win record, Lamau. And Omar is saying, well, that's our FA Cup hopes gone. Tyrone is saying City take every cup seriously. And Adebayo on the page is saying we will try our best. What's our best? I don't exactly know, but we'll try whatever we can. And Udom is saying, well done. It was a good day for us. Passionate Arsenal fan from Nigeria. I hope the passion is remaining after we get thumped by City again.
Yeah. Listen. So obviously with the draw being made now, so do you guys still think we got a chance of winning the FA Cup?
Nope. I never thought so either ways. I thought that if we beat Sheffield, we'll obviously get thumped in the next round because of City, United and Chelsea being there. It's not Cardiff City, Adams Club. Otherwise, then we would have had the chance to probably beat them and go through to the final. It's going to be Manchester City most probably now. If Newcastle can pull off an upset, then I think I will be like, yes, my bet is on Arsenal. Yeah, we believe.
Yeah.
My opinion, I still think we can because again, I'll go back to 2017 when we were written off there, and you could argue is the Man City team there. Certain players were better than what they are now, but it just depends on who turns up on the day and how Arteta motivates this team. Because it's been empty Wembley Stadium, a huge pitch, so it's just about who adapts on the day and who wants it. And I think after what happened last week, I think Arteta will drive it home. He wants to win this one because it's the repeat of the apprentice versus the master. And unlike last time, he wants to beat the master properly this time. and how much better would it be if we could do it in a cup competition, which could lead us to win a cup?
Yeah, but there is one more thing. When you compare the master and the apprentice, Jose Mourinho has gone retard. So Lampard beating him is not something special because his tactics have become obsolete and he's slowly trending to decline. His decline stage has started. But
I
with
think this
respect,
passed it years ago.
yeah, and with
Yeah.
respect to Pep, he's still not in his decline stage yet. So that there is a huge difference, and obviously the kind of money that City has spent and the kind of squad
Also,
that they have. Yeah.
Also, we're saying this about City could pump us. This that never. We're forgetting they're in the Champions League still. They could be getting to that stage as a Champions League to win on their draw. So with Pep's mindset is just to win Champions League by then, as in preparing his squad ready for August.
You know what? I'm going to be controversial and say something now that having seen the draw now, I'd rather just try and get that 5th place in the league. yeah.
One way or the other, we're getting European football.
Because we got more chance. We got more chance of getting that fucking 5th place than winning the FA Cup at the moment.
I hope that UEFA gives City a Champions League ban of 2 years and an FA Cup ban of this year.
Just for the sake of it.
That's what I'm saying. We're only 6 points off of 5th place, so it's doable. And the way United are playing at the moment, Jesus Christ, they look absolutely awful. And the one thing that I will say is that each game we play, Arsenal seem to be looking a little bit more sharper each game. Like the first game, we were not at the races. The second game, we weren't there, even though we scored. And then Southampton, we were getting it together a little bit. And this game, we were getting it together a little bit. We're not clinical enough. But I think, the more and more that Arteta works with these players, I just think, we might get it together, and we could easily we've got more chances to push for that 5th place.
See,
it all hinges on the 8th of July, doesn't it? That's when I think, is it the 8th of July when it comes out? So by then, we'll have had a few more games then in the Premier League.
See, the point is the team is looking sharper, but Arteta isn't. As a manager, no, not yet. And some of the comments coming in, like Tyrone is saying that Newcastle is parking the truck instead of the bus. So I think that's a bigger bus. And Omar is saying, no, we're not going to win against City. And Rubanga Keen is saying, King Solomon, he's saying, I'm from Uganda. I'm sure we go win. Liam Damon is saying, Ryan, like your enthusiasm. Tyrone is saying, City play Real Madrid 6th August. So there's a long way to go to that Champions League time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, because obviously he's won the FA Cup, he's won the league, he's won everything else in England. One thing he'll want to prove a point, because he's never won it, apart from at Barcelona, is the Champions League. It does seem that this season he has sacrificed throughout the whole season the Premier League title for Champions League. So what I'm saying, because of how the circumstances have fell, his mindset might be, especially with the loss of Aguero, rest certain players in certain games, save him so he doesn't risk any more big injuries to his squad for the Real Madrid match, and possibly the semi-final.
I do think as well that if Man City are banned from the Champions League, he's going to want to win it even more, because otherwise it's 2 years or even a year without getting it. And I've said it before, listen, if Man City are banned, you can guarantee that team's going to fall apart. I don't think Guardiola may walk. I'm not so sure of that, because he's just signed a deal, isn't he? Or he's, but listen, that even some of the players have come out, and I tell you what, I bet they won't have Kevin De Bruyne if they're at the Champions League. He's not going to want to stick around.
That thing that I wanted to add is that what I was trying to say is he has been serious about the League Cup as well, and he did win that as well. So he's not like Klopp, that I don't care about the League Cup and the FA Cup. Pep doesn't have that kind of an attitude. And the second thing is, even if he rests his first team players, even a Phil Foden can fuck us. We don't need a De Bruyne to fuck us. Even a Phil Foden can do that. You need to remember that.
Only if David Luiz allows it to, and does the clown show again.
Yeah.
I think we are, getting too much into the last match we played against City. Overall, Arsenal has done well this year, calendar year, right? We have played some good games. Obviously, post-COVID, it's a restart. We'll not get thumped, that's for sure. But obviously, City will be a stronger side and they will come up as favorites. But on a given day in a FA Cup match, it all depends on how well you turn up, right? How well you press them. Especially if we do not have any injury issues from the ones that we have. Okay, if we can work continuously on the same squad, I think we'll give them a good, run for the money.
But you need to remember one more thing, Sankalp, that even if we don't have any injury issues, 3 of our players may go off as substitutes, like it happened in the last game.
Don't, not again.
We lost Xhaka, we lost Mari, and I think one more guy who went off, Tierney went off in the second half.
Come to me, probably, but it'll come to me later. But yeah,
Luis got sent off. That was
Who was it that went off?
As long as we, play with a uniform squad and we do not have any such, mitigating issues later. Because if you want to beat City, you want to play with, small things being correct. The bigger things is up to you. If you have all these niggling issues that you have to rectify as well as fight against City, it's very difficult. It's just too difficult.
And the troll that is going around. Raheem Sterling did not score a goal in 2020. Guess against whom he scored a goal? Brighton did not win a game against any of the teams, I think, or they did not beat any something like that. And guess whom they beat? And the third one was Sheffield did not score an entire goal in 2020, and guess who gave them their first goal? Post the restart, they didn't score a single goal, and guess who gave them their first goal? So I think there are a lot of first times that Arsenal is doing. So I don't know if we can hold on.
So no one guess who first defeated them.
We did beat them. United beat them 3-0.
I mean FA Cup match.
Yeah, but they were not the favorites. But City are like the favorites at this level, and we are like somewhere here.
Yeah. We go as underdogs. It doesn't change, right?
Daniel, are you optimistic about Arsenal beating City?
Listen, I've got more optimism that I'm going to win the lottery in the next year, which is not going to happen. So, no, listen, I'm not confident that we can beat Man City.
oh dear.
The only way we can beat Man City is if De Bruyne goes off ill that day or something, or Pepe comes good, or Aubameyang scores a hat trick or something. But yeah, I'm not confident. I'm not confident that we can beat Man City unless that their mind is elsewhere. But listen, it's tough. It's a tough ask.
I'll go to the local hotel and I'll cook a load of lasagna for them all.
Probably one of us will have to make a fake ID as some hot mistress and text all the City players to come at some hotel and kidnap them.
Yeah.
At least the main ones.
Do you know the only good thing when we play City? At least all the pubs will be open, so we'll be able to get a drink. That's the only good thing. That's the
You
only
guys
good
are
thing.
lucky. You guys are lucky in that case. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the case here in India. We'll have to sit at home in our misery if we lose.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And there are a lot of comments coming in. I'll quickly just read some of them. And Liam Damon said that, Daniel, you're not going to get the points. He means to say that you're not going to get the win against City. And
No, it's all about the points to get to fifth.
We can get 6 points. We only have to
be
win twice, and United have to lose twice.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I think we could win twice. Because don't forget, guys, listen as well, we've got some tough fixtures, but Spurs, listen, fuck Spurs, we can beat them. Liverpool, they're gonna, on paper, they're a tough team, but listen, they've won the league now. They've got it done. They don't need to do anything. They're not really fighting for anything.
But
So
can I add one thing?
We could easily take it to them. Leicester's going to be a tricky game. Wolves, listen, Wolves always worry me because Wolves have got the ability to batter us in any given day, which they've done. So yeah, listen, we've got some tough games, but I do think that we can do that. And United, I was looking at United's fixtures as well, and
Yeah.
they've got some tough games as well. I think they've still got to play City at one point as well, haven't they? I know they've got to play Liverpool. I think no, Chelsea's got to play Liverpool as well. But listen, Chelsea are way too far ahead. So listen, the only thing catching Chelsea is an STD. Do you know what I mean? So,
But the problem with us will be we will be playing Liverpool. Then I think we are playing City, and then we play Wolves, and then we play Leicester, and then we play, which is the last team? I think we play one more top team.
No, we play Wolves.
Sorry?
Play Wolves early. Our match with Wolves is early,
Yeah.
then it's Tottenham and then Liverpool.
No, we play Wolves this weekend. Okay.
Norwich, Wolves.
Norwich
Yeah.
this weekend, then Wolves, and then after that we play Liverpool and then City, right? Or City and Liverpool.
Leicester, Tottenham, and then Liverpool.
Yeah, Leicester,
Leicester-
Tottenham, Liverpool, Watford.
And listen, United's next fixtures. Who have United got? I know they've got Brighton. United, they've got Brighton next, I think.
Yeah.
They got the easiest fixtures. Sankalp, your voice is cracking a bit, so I can't understand what you're saying.
Sorry. I said United have fixtures. They have, Brighton, they have Bournemouth, they have Aston Villa, Southampton, Crystal Palace, a bit, tricky, especially away. Then they have West Ham at home and Leicester away. So it's a couple of games that, Daniel is mentioning. We have Crystal Palace away and Leicester away. These are the two games, as an Arsenal fan, you can put a bit of hopes on.
Mind you, saying that, even United don't even have to lose games; they could just draw a couple, and we could sneak in there. So it's United are those teams. Listen, you would say that they've got the easiest run, but listen, they blooming didn't have an easy game of it yesterday against bottom of the league, did they? So
exactly.
They listen, and Crystal Palace have got far better players than Norwich. Leicester have got far better players.
But it was a B team, right, Daniel? It was not the A team playing yesterday.
No, what the point that I was trying to make is that the City game is going to be in between our 4 crunch fixtures, which is that is what I was trying to say. So because we are playing Leicester on the 8th and 8th of July. So when is the game? This game, the City game now?
It's yet to be scheduled. I think 15th.
If it is 15, then it is between the Spurs and the Liverpool game. Because we are playing Liverpool on 16th.
Yeah.
That is what is the current schedule.
It's either the 11th or the 12th or the 18th or 19th, one of them 2 weekends. Need to find out.
The game will get shifted, right? Nitish, if the matches are very close by, that game will get shifted.
Yeah, either ways, what the point is, it will be between at least 3 top fixtures, which we need to win, obviously, to secure that 5th place if we are trying for it. And it will be in a very tough time. And I don't think this squad has the capability and the stamina to win 4 to 5 consecutive games. So I think we may fuck up that as well, and this as well, probably.
I think 5th is a very tough ask, right? We are yet to get into that flow, right? We have sorted out small things, but there's a lot of things that we are still working on. So 5th is a very tough ask. To be honest, I won't mind us missing out on Europe. I know it sounds controversial, but I think the team it needs a lot of time, to work with the coach, right? And there's no Thursday matches. It's easier for the team to work it out, come back. You remember Conte, right? His first season, he did not have Europe to worry about, and he really turned it up as the season progressed. I think we need something similar, right? Europa will easily distract us a lot.
And Yusuf is giving the update that Arsenal City is on 18th July and probably Chelsea Manchester United on the 19th or 18th, 19th are the dates. So if that is the case, it is, I think we'll be playing Spurs before, and the Liverpool game will be postponed, and probably Leicester after we play City.
So Aston Villa match is on 18th. I think that will get postponed as well. So you have 2 games postponed, which is very difficult to, very, improbable, right? Posting out 2 games.
sorry, Leicester is on the 8th, Spurs is on the 12th, and 16th is Liverpool. So if 16th was Liverpool, we play Liverpool on the 16th, and then on the 18th we play City.
18th, we already have Aston Villa.
So that will get postponed.
So that'll get moved to midweek of the following week. Yeah.
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 Liverpool 16th and then play City on 18th, right? We cannot expect that.
No, if they're playing on the 16th, they'll put us on the 19th, and then Chelsea will be on the 18th. But they'll confirm that once BT and BBC have decided who they're picking.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's all right.
Arsenal versus Liverpool also has not been. It's to be declared, showing us to be declared. So that has also not been confirmed yet. So that could move 1 or 2 days here or there. But then the problem is that. Yeah.
Yes, right?
Sorry?
Post 12, we might directly play on 18th, 6 days, which is good.
I don't think so that long we'll be getting the break. If we get that break, I think it will be very lucky of us.
Yeah.
But do we have any main players who will be coming in? I don't think so. Everyone who's supposed to come in will be back now itself.
Yeah.
So
that schedule is another problem.
Squad
Daniel-
rotation.
Yeah. Squad rotation. Do we have the squad to be rotated?
We have
No.
to. We haven't, but we're going to have to do something about it.
Yeah. Listen, we ain't got the squad. We ain't got the squad to rotate.
I think that works well, right? We need this team to play as much as they can together, right? The flow, that consistency is lacking, and that will only come if they keep playing as a team.
See, the problem is the manager won't change that. The only thing that changes that is always injuries.
Yeah.
I'll go through some of the more comments after that. And after that, quickly just go through some of the comments. Wait, I was here. Clarence was saying, Cheddars was saying, my first time was with an Arsenal fan. True story. Probably he's talking about he was with his nephew who is a Arsenal fan, and he was trying to convert him into a Liverpool fan today, but it failed. And Clarence is saying Arteta to beat Pep for the first time. And so the guys are having a laugh on that. And Tyrone is saying Liverpool might want to win the league with 100 plus points. Simply saying United have easiest run of fixtures. Yeah, exactly. And Tyrone is saying no Wolves. Yeah, so they're talking about the set of fixtures again. And Jonathan Potter is saying Andy Carroll is on a mission to injure Laporte. Don't mind. Take
Good.
out 2 more players. 2 more players. Don't mind it.
Yeah.
And Sam is saying, Daniel, forget Wolves. Spurs and Sheffield United are ahead of us and also need to drop points while we win.
Yeah, Sheffield United are a point ahead of us. So if we win on Wednesday and they lose their midweek game, we're ahead of them already.
No, I think both the teams are now playing each other. So I think a draw is the best thing that can happen for us.
And don't forget, we've got to play those teams as well. And, we've got to play Wolves. I still think we could get 5th. I don't think... listen, 4th place is dead and buried. You might as well forget about 4th place. You might as well absolutely just... Yeah, it's non-existent. But 5th place is only 6 points. 6 points is not a lot to make up. Listen, I'm not too worried about the other teams like Wolves and Sheffield, because Sheffield, you've already seen that they're starting to burn out.
Yeah.
And Wolves is a worry. If I was to worry about any of those teams, it would probably be Wolves.
True.
Because they're playing it smart. They're playing those 1-0 wins, and that's all. They're not overdoing it.
Yeah. But what are their fixtures? Who are they playing? Obviously, apart from us, they've got...
Good matches.
They don't have too many big fixtures. They don't.
Yeah, so Wolves would probably be the only one to really worry about. But then, like I say, if they get a couple of draws, and then obviously they've got to play us as well. But listen, it's a big ask. But I just think it's more of a big ask to win the FA Cup, because we've got a large, big barrier in the way of Man City.
Well, Man City almost conceded an equaliser, but Dwight Gale
We'll be
hammered it on the
having
bar.
a break of 7 days before they play us.
I don't think so. We'll have those 7 days. I think the way the fixtures are congested, I don't think we'll get 7 days.
Wolves
No, the
have-
only way we can beat Man City. The only way we can beat Man City is if Newcastle knock them out of the FA Cup. That's the only way we can beat Man City.
Well, in the last 5 minutes, it's 2-0 now. Sterling just scored.
Yeah, exactly. Game done.
What's it? Newcastle's got the Gal missed up an open opportunity to equalise, and then they've just got to have and scored. 2-0. Yeah. Get ready, boys.
Yeah,
Big
so
game.
I can imagine Aubameyang missing a shot and Sterling scoring against Luis.
Yeah.
That's like
Listen,
a trailer.
the only Sterling I want to see is in my pocket, and that's pound sterling.
Yeah.
Not Raheem. I don't want to see Raheem Sterling.
You may not see the sterling, but you may see the pounding that we get.
So, yeah, listen, guys, do smash the subscribe button and do hit the like on the Blind Gooner. I'd really appreciate that. And also, if you are not following Nitesh's page on Facebook, go and hit a like on the page too. Guys. So guys, listen. So obviously, what we'll do is we'll open it up to the chat. So, do you think that we can beat Man City? You know, and I know what most of you are going to say, but when you think about it,
whoever says yes, I need a 1 paragraph long answer or an essay on why we can beat Manchester City.
He's got to have faith.
Yeah.
If faith did anything, Newcastle would be beating City right now.
If they didn't have a player like Dwight Gale, they would be beating Man City by now. But hey, they've got Dwight Gale. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, Dwight Gale. Listen, he's rubbish.
That's putting it politely.
Absolutely rubbish.
Oh dear.
I hope they didn't go for a 3-0. And Jonathan Potter is saying, apart from Laporte, City's defense can be
got at, yeah.
Can be shit. Yeah.
Yeah. If he gets an injury, we've seen major part of this season. Without him, their defense is worse than ours, and that's saying something.
So what we need to do then is we need both Laporte and De Bruyne to come down with miraculous illnesses on the day of the game, and then we got it in the bag.
Yeah, food poisoning.
Yeah,
probably a Spurs infection or something. But the thing is, one thing I'll say that the problem will be that even if they don't have their defenders, they can play 10 strikers and still beat us. That is another problem.
So, again, it depends on what Arsenal turns up on the day and how motivated Arteta gets his team on the day to put in a performance and get a result. Because Arteta is not going to want to lose back to Pep, his previous manager, in such quick succession. He's going to want to prove a point, not just to Pep, but the media, because the media are quick to get on his back after that defeat.
I think Arsenal fans are quick to get on his back after the defeat. Yeah, Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
There are some Arsenal fans that they don't want Arteta in the first place, so they're going to use any bad decision he makes to beat him over the head with.
Yeah, and that particular fan can go and jump off a bridge for all I care.
And these same fans are practically deep throating Mesut Ozil every chance they get. Do you know what I mean? Like
the sheer irony behind it as well.
Yeah. Mesut Ozil. They are like right there trying to suck up to Mesut Ozil, even though he does nothing on the pitch. And I think Willock has proven today that he can do more than Ozil, at least in a game. He can take a knock as well. He was almost knocked out.
Yeah, after a long time, he had a good game. Right?
He's simply saying, Nitish loves Ozil. You are the one with the Ozil scarf, man. And you keep wanking to it.
Yeah, you're the one with the Ozil scarf, Simpy. All right, guys. So what we'll do is everybody in the chat, put your questions in. We'll take a few minutes of questions, and then we'll wrap up because listen, there's only so much you can talk about us getting smashed by City.
Yeah, and Yusuf is saying, I believe with right attitude we can beat Manchester City. The right attitude is play FIFA.
Again, I'll go back to it. I'll keep repeating myself. But 2017, again, same situation. Strong Man City team against our bang average Arsenal team that finished 5th in the end of the league, first time back Champions League. But in that semi-final, we were written off beforehand, and then we went 1-0 down with Aguero scoring, and we found a way back and took it to extra time and got the win. And again in the final, written off because they're playing the best team in England at the time, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Even by our own fans. And on the day, it's all about on the day. I know it could be different. That's another thing. It could be different because there's no fans there as well. We've got to take that into consideration as well. It just depends on who prepares this team, the respective teams properly for them circumstances at a big Wembley pitch on a first semi-final.
I did hear a rumor that they're possibly going to let in 20,000 fans.
For the final.
For the final, on August.
The problem but there is that at that point of time, we did have a Wenger and we did have a certain philosophy, and obviously Ramsey was better than any of these midfielders, and the attackers that we had a good coordination with the midfield. And the defenders, I think Laurent Koscielny is still a better defender than most of our defenders right now, centre backs. I think he was one of the centre backs, and I don't remember who was the other centre back.
For the final, it was Mertesacker and Rob Holding because Koscielny got himself suspended for the final.
Yeah. So still Mertesacker was a smart defender who could at least lead the back line. Right now, the problem is we don't have a leader, and today Twitter was trending that Kieran Tierney should be our next captain rather than giving it back to Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, it should be. Kieran Tierney for me, he's a winner. He's come from the academy of Celtic, and he's from day one been drummed in a winning mentality. We need a captain who has a winning mentality. He doesn't come out on national TV and says, we drew 2-2 to Watford. We blew a 2-0 lead because we were scared. That's not the mentality. You need a winner, an actual winner, someone that wants to win, fight for the badge. And Tierney does do that.
Yeah, and what I posted after that is that I didn't mention the winning mentality part, but what I said is whoever we give the armband to, they get sold. So let's not be too quick about it.
Actually,
I think it's a bit too early to give it to Tierney, right? While he has all the good qualities, I think we should let him, play at Arsenal for a couple of years, continuously prove himself before giving him the armband. Because we jump at these things, right? We hype up certain players after a couple of matches and then we bring him down, right? And that's the problem, right? Hyping up, it's okay. But once we start booing players, once we start, going after the social media pages, it puts them under a lot of pressure, which is unnecessary.
No, but if Granit Xhaka gets the armband, there will be a riot on Twitter at least. There will be a serious riot because everyone is...
I don't think he'll take it anymore. I don't think he'll take the armband anymore.
He took it today. He took it quietly today. He took it quietly. When Lacazette gave it to him.
He's like, are you sure about this? Okay.
Yeah. So Natasha, have we got any questions there in the chat?
Yeah. Sam has said that is Arteta a descendant from a Playmobil man?
No, Lego man.
Lego. But Daniel, did you not feel that he's very slow in taking decisions? I called Wenger a tortoise.
Yeah, listen, he are we talking about Wenger or Arteta?
Arteta.
Okay. Yeah, he was very slow at making decisions, but I think he's going to learn from that, because we have to remember as well that he is a new manager, so he's going to make mistakes. Listen, he's not faultless. He's not going to be 100% get every decision right. Even you could argue that even Pep Guardiola doesn't get 100% right. Yes, he gets 95% of his decisions all right, but how do you think Guardiola got to where he is with experience? He started out just the same way as Arteta did, and probably made similar mistakes. So
Pep had Messi.
Listen, you have to question Arteta's mistakes because that's what we do as Arsenal fans and as football fans. We do question it, But listen, he's going to make mistakes, and it's how he improves on those mistakes. And listen, I genuinely believe that today, with today's game, he got the lineup spot on. We pretty much dealt with Sheffield. Okay, yes, they gave us a few scary moments, and it was we only won it in the last 5 minutes, but we started that game pretty well. We started that game pretty well. For the first 20 to 30 minutes, we were pretty decent. So yeah, listen, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's one of them that we've just got to give him time. We've got to back him. We have got to back him. Whether you wanted him here or not, we have to back him, because he's not going to succeed if he's not getting backed. We as fans, right, moan and bitch about the board backing him. And to me, that's just deflecting off us fans. Us fans have to back him. Question his decisions. Of course, question his decisions, because, like I said, that's what we do. But we have to back him. I have seen some Arsenal fans that on the game, because they didn't want Arteta, their every decision, because it's not what they wanted. Oh, he's not good enough. He's not good enough to be Arsenal manager. He's not, he's not making the right decisions. Get him out. You've got to back him. You can't expect the board to back him, and then us as fans not back him, because he's gonna fail. So my message to Arsenal fans is, Arteta's here, so back him. Give him a chance. Give him time before you start questioning him as a manager. Give him time to fix this squad, because this squad needs fixing. Don't judge his decisions too much on the current situation, because listen, this squad could make any decent manager look crap. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, you bring Guardiola into this team, and even he would probably fail as a manager, because these players aren't good enough. So give him time to fix his issues and fix the massive issues at this club. And then if he still gets it wrong after that, then question him.
Okay, I have two quick questions, and I'll go to everyone in the panel, and people in the chat can respond as well. One thing, if Arteta gets a good offer for Xhaka in the summer window, and if he does not sell him, and he retains him, would you still back Arteta? I will start with Ryan.
Again, yeah, because then he's clearly seen something himself on the training pitch that he wants in this squad. If he's keeping him because he fits within the squad, yeah, if he's keeping him just for the sake of it, then you've got to say, well, why is that? What has he got on this club? But if it's for the good of the club, we have to back. As Daniel said, we have to back Arteta's choices here. It's like with David Luiz, the 1-year extension. There's no guarantee David Luiz is going to be playing week in, week out for the next season. He could be just there as a experienced player who's on the bench behind the scenes that can help Arteta get things across in a certain way for next season, and that's it. Because you've got to remember, we've got, as it stands, with Saliba coming in, Mari's got a 4-year contract, Luiz has got a year extension, Socrates has got a year left in his deal, and you've got Mustafi and Rob Holding. That's 6 centre-backs. At least two have got to be gone this summer. I think we know who, and it does seem like it could be Socrates and Mustafi.
I think he said that Socrates won't be sold because he's playing as a right back. Niles will be the one going.
Right back now with Cedric Soares.
They've got Cedric Soares now.
Yeah, but he did say that Socrates won't be sold this summer. Anyways, yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
No, we just got to wait and see what Deadwood is going in this window coming, wherever that may be, and then go from there. As long as we get whoever goes out, we get in is better than what we're letting go, and actually improves his squad. We can aid back Arteta, because then he's doing something positive for the club. Whereas previous managers, i.e. Mr. Unai Emery, was only after players that wouldn't really. In my opinion, Zaha, I don't really rate Zaha, and for me, he would have come to Arsenal, even though he's an Arsenal fan and knows Premier League week and all that. He wouldn't have improved us, just like. And people go, "Oh, Pepe was 72 mil." Pepe's come from French league where you get all the space in the world to do what you want. And that's what you see that in his game sometimes, where he thinks he's got all the time in the world.
Yeah,
and he doesn't. He came and didn't speak a word of English. He's had to play under Unai Emery, who didn't rate him because he didn't want him. So the confidence was battered straight from the off there, and he had Freddie Ljungberg. So Vinny Ljungberg and Freddie and Arteta both come in and said he had an attitude because of what happened previously, which they've had to coach out of him. And we're only now seeing glimpses of what he can do. And today, when he has a right back that's overlapping him and helping him out, unlike Hector, you're seeing more. You're seeing more, Pepe. You're seeing more of what he can do for us. When you've got someone like Hector at right back, you're not really seeing it because Hector doesn't commit forward or overlap and help out his winger, which is what Arteta wants. So again, it's all about what Deadwood is given the boot this summer. But he's not going to say. This is the thing. He will not come out and say, right, this moment in time, with fixtures coming thick and fast, publicly go, I want this person out, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one, and I want that one, all out, because of that dense confidence and morale within the club itself. And if anything goes wrong, it's on him. So he's trying to do what he can to get the best out of what he's got at the moment, what he's inherited, before he then publicly goes bye-bye. And then we can hopefully bring in, as we've discussed earlier, better players that will improve this squad, and not necessarily just go abroad. Yes, if we can go Partey, great, but don't just go after foreign players. Go from like the Liga and all that. Look within the league that we've got. Look at Liverpool. When Klopp came in, they finished 8th. In that summer window, they looked within what was in the league. Sadio Mane, Wijnaldum, amongst others, and they've built a squad, and look where they are now. You've just got to look of what's in the Premier League. Can they improve the squad? Yes. Go get them and start building and changing the mentality of this club. Because as Arteta said when he first came in as well, on the Arsenal YouTube site, his interview, as an outsider for the last few years, looking in, he saw things he weren't seeing when he was at the club initially. The disconnect between the fan base, how the players, the mentality, and this, that, and the other. So he's got so much to do in such a short amount of time, by the sounds of it. We could put Van Dijk in his team, and he wouldn't do what he's doing at Liverpool because we haven't got a midfield. We need to sort the midfield out, the central side of it, to protect that back four, and then at the same time work on the centre back pairing going forward. And again, back the guy, just back the man. He clearly knows what he's talking about. And he's getting back because, as we've said before, he wanted a left-footed centre back. He's got one. I know the pandemic's come along and it might affect certain things and how we structure certain deals now, but long as you back him, long as the board back him, we can back him, and then as long as he's getting it right. If they're backing him and he doesn't get it right after one, I'm giving him 2 full seasons. 2 full seasons. This season from when he came in till the end of the season was always going to be a write-off because of the mess he inherited. If you got anything out of this, it would be fantastic. It's then from that season onwards where you can then start looking at what he's trying to do and start judging on his squad. You can't judge him on an Arsene Wenger / partly Unai Emery squad. It's got nothing to do with him. The only players that are his players are Cedric Suarez and Pablo Mari. He needs more time. So
yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Ryan. We need to just calm down a little bit.
Mm.
We need to calm down a little bit, and we need to just accept the situation for what it is. And there are good players in the Premier League that we could go and get. We could go and get a Lewis Dunk.
Yeah.
We could go and get we could get an Ndidi. We could go and get a Jimenez or a Traore, which instantly you get all three of them players instantly makes us a better team.
Exactly.
We could go and get a Max Aarons, which again instantly gets us, instantly improves us. Then you've got you've got along with Tierney, Mari, Saliba, Dunk. That instantly makes us a better team with Aarons and Suarez. Then the midfield, you could have Partey. Probably if you're getting Partey, you're probably not going to get Ndidi. So it's probably either one or the two. With Partey, and if we're selling Guendouzi, you could probably get another player. You need another playmaker. And if you're getting a Coutinho on loan, which would instantly make us better, along with Pepe. And say if you look to sell Lacazette, you could probably bring in, say, like a Jimenez or a I don't really know where else you'd look, to be honest. So there's lots of things. There's lots of things that could instantly make this team a better team. You don't have to go out and get the big signings, and then when that team gets you into, if that team will be good enough for a top 4 finish. So then when you get into the top 4 or get Champions League, you can then go and upgrade on the real top quality players that can get you, that can get you up to that next level. Because let's be honest, guys, we're all, a lot of Arsenal fans are snobby about those types of players, the ones that I've just mentioned. But let's not forget that those types of players are probably a million times better than our players, than what we've got at the moment.
We
just got to be careful. We just got to be good in the transfer.
What I wanted to ask, one thing to Ryan before we go to Sankalp on the same thing. Ryan said that the problem would have been if Van Dijk came to Arsenal, the problem would have been this midfield in front of him. And so I just wanted to say the question initially was that if Xhaka, Arteta has the chance to sell him, should he retain him or just let him go if he gets a good offer for him? That is why exactly the question.
Depends on the offer. If he gets a good offer, yeah. So if he gets something like 30 million for him, then yeah, let him go. Then we've only taken a 5 million loss on him.
If we can get a good offer, so Daniel says.
Yeah.
One sec. And then get a good offer, as Daniel says, and get someone in that can improve. It's better than him that can improve this squad. Then yeah, definitely. If not, shut up. As people said in the chat, you can go and get Decore as well. There's options out there. It's just depending on what Arteta wants in his midfield. If we get good enough offer, if we get good enough offer, and you go invest that money in someone that's going to make this, it's better than Xhaka can offer us, then yeah, let him go.
Yeah, and also as I was saying, that we did get an offer of I think 35 million euros from Hertha Berlin in the January transfer window, and Arteta said no, not to take it.
Yeah, but that's,
and I'll just
be fair. Yeah. I think the reason why he said that is because it's halfway through a season. You're disrupting whatever he has there, and there's no in a window. You can't guarantee you're going to get someone better than what where Xhaka was there, settled. You can't, even if it's from someone. It's very hard to get someone in the Premier League to come to your club halfway through a season.
Yeah. But even if we had the money, like Thomas Partey had as we already spoke about this, a buyout clause. So we could have just paid the money to Atletico and
But is Partey going to want to come halfway through a season when his team's still in the Champions League as well, going for a big match?
This is what I said. And the release clause is only activate. I think
this summer.
His release, is a summer release clause, so you can't activate it halfway through a season.
Yeah.
We could have at least done a pre-agreement or something like that. I think you obviously have that option of getting a pre-deal done if you want to sign someone. And
but what's the point in that though, Nitesh? You do a pre-agreement and you're going to let Xhaka go, and then you're going to have no one for half a season.
No, we could have taken someone on loan for half a season.
But then that's more money because you've still got to pay the loan fee. So then you pay the 40 million for Partey, which has got to be paid up front because it's a release clause. Then you're going to spend like 10 million for a loan of another player, and then it's just
10 million on a loan for if it is a top player. Obviously, we could, like a Coutinho or someone else. But then, if you see one more thing, we are anyways going to pay the 43 million as it is up front, and the only additional one would be the 10 million. And we would be making 35 million from the Xhaka deal. So out of that, we would only be spending 10 million. And
not necessarily, because the 35 million for Xhaka is not a given.
It was the offer that was made, 35 million euros.
And that's only a report. That was only a report. Just like the Partey being linked to Arsenal is only reports at the moment. So how do you know that offer was concrete, was actually on the table from Hertha Berlin?
Because Arteta said that he's not going to be leaving. He said that there will be no deal happening in the transfer window when he was asked about it. So
he's responding. He's not gonna say. He's responding to those reports. Doesn't mean say those reports are true.
No, he responded. I think the question was asked to him whether Xhaka will be going to Hertha Berlin, and that is when he said if there was no offer, he would have said there was no offer for him.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Because again, you're risk upsetting the apple cart within the club, even though the core, there's a bad core there, you still risk upsetting that core, and you've just come in, and you're going to say, "Oh yeah, our former captain, You're upsetting the rest of the core. You don't know how close they are to him, this, that, and the other. So you need to work out how close he is to people, even player-wise. Does he have that much of an influence? If he don't, then okay, we see out the season, then we can get rid. You don't, because again, like I said, the winter windows are a bark to get anyone in. I mean, on the other occasion, we've got Aubameyang at a fluke, just because of circumstances, it fell our way. But it makes more sense to send him in a summer window when there's once obviously the season's done and dusted, whenever it may be, when the window opens, because you're then giving yourself time to go out and get someone in a closed season where there's no football matches involved, and go and get your players that you want, whilst getting rid of the players you don't want. And if Xhaka, again, if we get a good enough offer for Xhaka in the closed season when there's no games, then he's more likely to go, because, as I said, there's no games. There's nothing to disrupt what Arteta's trying to do on the pitch, because it's closed season. Whereas in the winter window, you're guaranteed. You can't. There's no guarantee. We could have brought someone in the winter window, even on loan, that could have come in and done a better job. And I don't rate Xhaka, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
I want to come to Shankar with the same question. He hasn't answered. And one thing I just want to add before that, people in the chat, do you guys think that if Xhaka is not sold in the summer transfer window, will you be backing Arteta or not? Yes, Daniel, before we go to Sankalp, you wanted to say something as well?
No, sorry, we'll go to Sankal first.
So, to be honest, I was playing FIFA yesterday, right? I won the league with Arsenal and I sold Xhaka for 50 million. But what I was trying to say is, we have 3 senior players in the midfield as of now, right? We have Xhaka, we have Torreira, we have Ceballos who goes back in the summer, and we have two young players with Guendouzi and Willock, right? You are trying to solve a problem which is, Torreira is not really stable. He has a lot of injuries. At the same time, he wants to go back. We cannot solve multiple problems. This is not FIFA, right? We cannot bring in four players, or we cannot bring in a entire new midfield in one summer window. So I don't see Arteta, to be honest, selling Xhaka because he knows he wants to solve the Torreira problem. He wants to solve the Ceballos problem. So these are his urgent priorities. He anyways gets a very limited or meager budget thanks to COVID. And without that also, he would have thought of bringing in Partey, right? You cannot bring in two, three midfielders in one summer window. He can get one or max two. So his priority would be, if Torreira goes away, to bring in his replacement and anyways find a replacement for Ceballos, right? And he knows that if he is able to sell two or three defenders, then perhaps they'll go for another additional defender. So, and they anyways need an attacking midfielder, right? So to be honest, in a best case scenario, I see Arsenal getting three players out of the summer window, right? And I do not see them focusing entirely on the central midfield area. They will try to solve three different problems, right? I do not see Arteta selling Xhaka. And let's be fair to Xhaka. He's been decent. He's not been that bad that we need to sell him right away, right? And I'm talking about only the last 3-4 months that he's been playing under Arteta. He's playing in a system where his role is getting magnified a bit. I know he's not doing wonders. He's not a Kevin De Bruyne. He's not a, Isco or a Cruz, right? That's correct. But at the same point, at the same time, he's not a problem that we should be solving today. He is a problem that we can solve the next season, right? So we need to give the team. When I say team, we need to give Arteta as well as Edu and the likes working on transfer window multiple windows to solve problem, because as everyone knows, Arsenal is a huge problem, right? It is nothing that can be solved in a single transfer window. Xhaka did get an offer. I think 29 million is what was in a lot of reports. Xhaka himself confirmed that there was a opportunity for him to leave, but he
Yeah.
stayed back after speaking to Arteta. And I understand that because when Arteta came in, he anyways came in a winter window where Arsenal hardly does signing, and then you do not have a lot of quality players available, right? Because they are playing in the Champions League. They would not want to come out to play in the Europa League with us, right? So you have to wait till the summer window, and at that point of time, selling away a player whose position again you have to replace immediately is very difficult. So summer window, while I understand that at some point of time we will need to sell Xhaka, right, and get someone better, I do not see this coming window as being the immediate priority one for us to focus on Xhaka.
Yeah, but that is what I was trying to say. So that was up to the club, Arteta, Edu, and Raul to sort the things out. That if we are selling Xhaka for 29 million or 35 million euros, I think it was, then we should be the ones first. We should set up another signing, another deal, another midfielder coming in. So only then, obviously, we would sell him. I'm not saying that we would just sell him and then try to sign someone.
Behind the
Yeah.
scenes, right? Maybe they tried it behind the scenes. They saw no one was available, and that's why they said no. You
No,
never.
initially at the start itself, I think this thing was, the news came out that the offer was made, and Xhaka said that I spoke to Arteta and I'm not leaving. So there wasn't any time, like they didn't wait till deadline day or that the deal didn't happen. So this didn't happen. Yeah.
See, they would have worked on these things beforehand, right? Hertha would not come on 15th of January and said we are interested in Xhaka. They would have informed the Arsenal, the Arsenal board right before, right before the window itself, saying, hey, at some point of time we will be coming in. So I'm sure they would have done the homework, and even knowing that they are going for Arteta, they would have pitched to Arteta, hey, these are the kind of players that we are looking at. I think these are the discussions that would have happened beforehand, where they know that what are the kind of players that are available in December and what are the kind of players who are available in the summer, right?
But Arsenal never does their homework, because if I think Ryan and Daniel will agree with me that if they wanted to sack Emery, you guys would obviously say that we should have sacked him before in that international break. Second thing is, after they sacked him, they didn't have a replacement to immediately come in. They had to toy around with Lumberg without without a team to back him
Yeah.
also, and they were fooling around at that point of time. Like they didn't care about the club. Ryan, you would like to address that?
I wouldn't say they wouldn't care. I think they thought someone like Freddie taking over, even on a part-time basis. But their mistake was with the whole Freddie situation. They made it publicly clear from day one that basically they were searching. They were basically, no matter how good he was going to do, they were going to keep searching for until someone came up. Whereas when Man United situation, Mourinho got sacked, Ollie came in on a part-time basis, but they weren't saying publicly. They weren't saying we're going to keep searching their fight until someone comes along. They literally just went, "This is the guy until the end of the season, and we'll go from there." Whereas literally Lundberg was just thrown under the bus from day one when he got given the part-time role. In my opinion, just on the way how they worded things and how they publicly put things out there. But yeah, I think they did have, again, as we alluded to earlier, they had Arteta in mind, but they took their sweet ass time about it. I mean,
that hurt us.
We should have really had him done before the Man City game, but for some bizarre reason, we wanted to take forever. But and again, in that time frame, because you're publicly putting it out there, and this is Josh's fault. It was Josh that one that said it. He's the one mouthpiece. We're gonna search and try and find the right man for the job. And take our time. This, that, and the other. The players are like, well, why the hell are we going to bother turning up for Freddie on a match day and not listen to him when he's not going to be here for long as the main figurehead
without any coaches.
So really, they messed up along that. They've made mistakes themselves, which they should have kept in house and not out of not only fans' earshot, players' earshot as well. Because then you never know we'll never know now if they'd kept things quiet and not said the things they said in that process. We might have got better performances out of the players under Freddie. We don't know now. All we can base it on is what they put something out there, and then suddenly we're getting the same performances that Emi was getting. And then suddenly Arteta comes in. His first game against Bournemouth, yeah, it was a 1-1 draw, but suddenly we're seeing a better performance in players. And then again against Chelsea on the 28th of December, and then on New Year's Day against Man United, we're seeing game by game suddenly better performances from players who were starting to pick up points in games we would have lost a couple of weeks ago under a different regime, because they knew he was in charge. So the board have a lot to answer for, and why they did certain things in a certain way, but why they put it out there so publicly for everyone to know.
Yeah, and congratulations to everyone. We are playing City. It has been made official like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But
so we're playing City. So we're playing Man City. So yeah, that's our FA Cup run over for another season.
Oh, have faith. Have a little faith. The thing with Arsenal, even though this squad is so bad, they always thrive when the pressure's not on them. When everyone's writing them off, they put out a performance out of nowhere, out of the bag. And it's always in the cup games. And let's not forget, yes, they take the cup seriously, and they got to the League Cup final this year, and they won it, but by the skin of their teeth. But look back to that final, how poor they were in that final. It was just down to the type of opponent they had that they actually won that in the end, by the skin of their teeth.
But that could be the same case with us as well. We are that poor as well at times.
At times, but again, it depends. It all comes down to who's.
And let's not forget when we were so poor. Don't forget, right, that we've actually already played Man City in a cup final, in the League Cup final, and we got hammered 3-0.
Yeah.
And the pressure was off us that day because we were at a crap squad and we didn't perform.
Again, it all comes down to how Arteta gets his team motivated on the match day itself, and also who's going to out of set of players who deals with an empty 90,000 capacity stadium and a massive wide pitch as well, and also between now and then, who has the less injuries to key players and key positions, because we could go into that no injuries, and Man City, as we said, we've done before. they lose Laporte, suddenly there's a strength in our side because all of a sudden, as we've seen all season, without Laporte, their defence is absolutely appalling, and that's saying something coming from an Arsenal fan. If you lose De Bruyne, you're losing that creativity because David Silva can only do so much. Bernardo Silva can only do so much, but they're not to the standard of what De Bruyne is. They can only do a smidgen of what he can do in a match day. So it all comes down to between now and the 18th, 19th, whenever the game actually falls on.
Yeah.
Injuries and who's up for it and who wants it more. Who wants to get to that final on the 1st of August?
Yeah. So Nitesh,
that was
if you just quickly read out some chats and then we'll wrap up because I think listen, we've had a good show today.
I'll quickly go through the chat and read out some. There were talks about Simpy's scarf, and Sam was saying something about Arsenal board preparing for what, and Liam Damon said his strangle wang Sam, and I think Simpy said, I think before that haha Liam Demo preparing bro. He was preparing for what was it? I think for something he was preparing. I don't exactly know, and then he said that Sam said that there are not many threads left in that scarf now. And Liam went on to add that I'm sure he can find a cheap one on eBay and post it closest to him. So he's going to probably get a Christmas present for another scarf, another Ozil scarf. And that is what the conversation was going on there. And that is about it. That is what was coming in the chat. But if we have time, I would like to ask the second important question. And can I go ahead with that? There's just one question left.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you support Arteta's decision to leave out Guendouzi from the squad completely?
I do, personally. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Because again, we saw it in Dubai. We saw the clips of what happened in Dubai, and he got dropped. He came back, and suddenly we saw a different Guendouzi in the sense of his attitude. There wasn't an attitude problem. Since then, we've had the lockdown, and then obviously Brighton. We're hearing he's goading the opponents into how much he has compared to them, how much he earns a week compared to them. Basically, coming across like he believes he's already made it because he's at Arsenal, because he's a first team regular. To be honest, he thinks he's already made it, and again, as an attitude problem. And for a club at Arsenal, again, and Arteta knows this. You do things in a classy way, and that's not classy. You do not do that. Plus, what's Guendouzi? With all due respect, he's a young player, etc. But what's he actually done at this club to merit that arrogance? So we say nothing. Whereas if we heard of Vieira had done that, or Petit, or Gilberto, or Edu, you could understand because they were what they were. They were winners. They won things. They were champions of England, FA Cup winners. He hasn't won nothing. We got to a Europa League final against Chelsea, who had already qualified for Champions League, and he is part of a squad that bottled it in the second half and lost 4-1. So he's got no right to have that sort of attitude. And as far as I'm concerned, Arteta's well within his right to eradicate that straight from us, because you could allow that to be a flash in the pan moment, so to speak, and play him again. But then that bad apple then goes on to the other players. They see, oh, he's got away with it, I'll do it, and it spreads. And then everything Arteta's then working on falls apart within what he's got at the moment. So the window opens, obviously, and then God knows what will happen beyond the scenes and on the pitch. So yeah, Arteta's well within his right, and it shows. Even though he's young, no one's indispensable. People will be dropped. There's a way of doing things. If you don't do it, you are getting dropped. He's just got to be. As long as he keeps that consistency going in his entire tenure at Arsenal, I have no problem with that. Is if he starts falling back and doing things like what Wenger had favourite players and not dropping them, which as it stands, I don't think he has, because we've seen with Mesut Ozil when he came in, we saw Ozil play a lot more, and then obviously lockdown came along, and then since we come out of lockdown and Premier League's returned in the last couple of weeks, we haven't seen Ozil at all. 4 games, 2 on the bench, two games, including one of them including today, wasn't in the squad. He hasn't played a single minute. Suddenly, he's gone from being a regular under Arteta to not even being used or in the squad at all. So there's things there where he's putting. You can see he's not taking any rubbish from anyone, even if they are former teammates of his. So I'm all for Guendouzi. Again, back to Guendouzi. I'm all for him being dropped because that you don't do that, especially in the circumstance of what you're a young kid. And you haven't exactly pulled up trees in the sense of putting us into title-winning positions, this, that, and the other, and you're going during a match against Brighton, one of a team that's got a good history against us in recent years, of getting results, and you're giving them, I earn more money than you. No. As the famous line says, play for the shirt, play for the name on the front of the shirt, and then remember the name on the back. Not the other way around.
Yeah, but one more thing that I wanted to add to that was I said it yesterday as well that I don't want to start off the debate right now, but I said one thing yesterday as well that there have been many a times that people have said a few things on the pitch and it has worked for them. Like Materazzi did that to Zidane and he got sent off and they won the World Cup in a game that France was dominating the game. If he probably didn't use that ploy, Italy would have had no chance to win that World Cup and that final. And there have been other tactics where it's not been the most ethical thing, but it has made a player react and probably get sent off at that point of time. So, and the thing is, the people... Yeah.
Sorry, with Guendouzi though, he hasn't got that mental ability to not only give it out, but then follow it up with his performance and help drag this team to a win. Whereas when Zidane and Materazzi, that situation, both players had a mentality, a winning mentality, and Materazzi knew taking Zidane out gave Italy a bigger chance of winning it, and knowing that, not only did he get the result he wanted and getting him sent off, but then it followed through with them taking it all the way to penalties and winning. Whereas Matteo doesn't have that.
No, I understand, but then if you saw his performance was very good against Brighton. The team messed it up. If you see, it was the defense that messed it up. We shouldn't have conceded those 2 goals. Matteo did his job.
Sorry.
One of you go on now.
That was more static than fucking our defense right there. Do you know what I mean? Jesus.
So I agree a lot with Ran. I mean, I understand when a player wants to, dish it out to the other players. We had Vieira doing it all the time. But at the end of the core, reason you get selected is your performance, right? And as long as any of these things does not, affect your core performance, it's okay. And I don't think Guendouzi is doing that. Right? He has a lot of potential, but he gets carried away often, right? When it comes to, getting into mind games, getting into all those small chit chats, that really affects his performance. I mean, I understand when you say he played well, he actually played well. I have to, spell it out. Yeah, he played well, but then even the second goal, he could have cut it off. Everyone, I heard a lot of commentators saying, hey, why did he not cut it off? Because his head is not 100% in the game. And at this level, with the kind of form we have, he has to be on the field 100% every single time.
Yeah, but
can I just say as well, you guys deciding which one of you should go first was kind of like David Luiz and Squadron Mustafi when Kevin De Bruyne's running at them. We're going to see that in the semi-final of the FA Cup. So they're going to be like, who's going to go first? Who's going to go first? And then by the time they've sorted it out, he's going to left them behind.
And he scored.
Yeah,
have faith in our team.
Yeah,
have faith in Arteta.
What I wanted to add,
not the team Arteta.
I agree to your points, but what I'm trying to say is when a player does that, you mold that player. You don't sell him off. You try to mold him into a better player because he's performing on the pitch, and which you guys agreed to as well, that he was good against Brighton. So you mold him off. You mold him into a better player. Unless you're incapable of molding the player into a better player.
Maybe it's not that. Maybe he doesn't want to be molded. Maybe he thinks he's good enough already.
Maybe also as well that this is Arteta's way of moulding him. So in dropping him, he sends a message saying, "Listen, you give me crap, you're not going to get away with it. You're not going. You know, you're not the one running the show here. I am."
No,
So-
I understand the dropping part, but what I'm saying is he has put him on the transfer list now. He's probably transfer list.
The reports are that Guendouzi's asked that. Apparently, that's the reports.
Yeah.
But even if that's the case, then clearly there's an issue with Guendouzi and attitude with Guendouzi that he doesn't like to be dropped. But then he, as you said, you were about moulding, but maybe he thinks he's already perfect and doesn't need to be moulded anymore. He maybe because where he's come from League, the second division of France, to Premier League at Arsenal, and literally straight from the off in the first team, non-stop. Even Emery literally overused him, overused. He believes he's made it. He believes there's nothing more to improve on. So maybe there's that mentality in his head where he doesn't think that no matter what anyone says, he thinks that he's made. That's it. I am where I am now is fine, and he doesn't want to be moulded. If that's the case, then it's in everyone's interest to get him at the club, because again, it's a bad apple within the core of what Arteta's trying to do and trying to fix. He doesn't want them bad apples anymore. For years, we've been saying we need people with a winning mentality that want to improve. If he doesn't want to improve, you know where the door is. George Graham, when he came in '87, walked into a similar situation where the club was underperforming, senior players weren't doing their jobs properly, and he literally said that first summer, where he wants to get us competing against Liverpool, and Liverpool at the time were the team to beat in Europe, full stop. And he said, "Oh, I'm going to give you 4 to 6 weeks to sort of prove to me you're good enough. And if you're not beating the standard, we'll have a chat, and I'll help you get at this club." And I think that's what Arteta's going to having to do. And if it happens to Guendouzi, so be it.
And the thing is with Guendouzi, like if I was Arteta, I'd be questioning his commitment to the club, because if when things don't go his way, he hands in a transfer request or asked to be put on the transfer list, to me that says that you're not 100% committed, because when things don't go your way, you throw your toys out the pram and want to leave the club.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at Guardiola did the same thing with Aguero, dropped him because he wasn't doing the dirty work. He was scoring goals. Yeah, of course he was scoring goals, but he wasn't doing the work that he wanted. And he dropped him. He dropped him, and Aguero wasn't happy. He threw his toys out the pram. Didn't want to leave. He just come back a better player. And now look at Aguero. He's an all-round better player because of what Guardiola had done.
He adapted. He moulded and adapted to.
No, but the thing with Aguero was that he didn't have the issue with the national team. Like Guendouzi knows that if he's now not being played regularly, he will be dropped from the France squad. He does not want that. That is why he is being a bit aggressive about the fact that if you don't want me, then I will leave.
Well, my response to that would be, if you don't want to be dropped and you want to be playing regularly, prove to me you should be playing regularly on a training pitch and on a match day. Don't be inconsistent. Don't cause problems. And
don't you think
be prepared to make yourself better. Don't throw your toys at every opportunity, as Daniel said. That when things don't go your way, you're acting like a passionate little child.
And the thing is, it's all well and good. Guendouzi's thinking of himself, because instead of thinking, okay, the manager's taking me off or not playing me for the good of the team, because obviously there's obviously games that aren't suited to him. He's just gone and thrown his toys out the pram. And if I remember rightly, it was him that's caused the problems, which led Arteta to make these decisions. If he hadn't have done what he'd done in Dubai, and then obviously he hadn't have been so outspoken after the Brighton game, then maybe Arteta wouldn't have dropped him. See, listen, I don't necessarily think that what he did at Brighton had anything to do with it, because Arteta already come out and said that he likes to see that in a player. It's just got to be controlled. It's just got to be done in the right way. And Guendouzi was not doing it in the right way.
Yeah, but the thing is, then Sanchez was also having the similar problem where he wanted to win and he would go overboard with it at times. We got rid of him. Guendouzi, I don't think, has the problem of not having the winning mentality because he wants to win every game. And even in the Brighton game, he did put in one of a
But
good performance.
Sanchez was a different story.
No, I mean to say
Because-
with respect to attitude, Guendouzi also wanted to win that game.
And that upset the team. When Sanchez left, you look at all the reports coming out saying the team said that Sanchez, was causing problems in the dressing room. Now, listen, I think that was more of a team situation than a Sanchez situation because look at the likes of Bellerin coming out and saying that Sanchez winning mentality was doing our head in. Listen, I'm sorry, that to me, you don't say shit like that. When you say, for me, right, for me, if I was manager of Arsenal and I'd seen reports of that, I would have actually pulled Bellerin into my office and say, listen, you ain't playing for this club again. I would say, did you say that? You ain't playing for this club again. Because with an attitude like that, when someone's got a winning mentality and you're criticizing them for that, to me, that's a massive red flag. And I'll be putting Bellerin on the transfer list quicker than you can say that. Do you know what I mean?
Forget that. Wenger didn't even come out and say that, no, we play to win. As simple as that. Forget calling Bellerin out. He didn't even come out and say that, no, we only play to win.
Yeah. To be fair, at the time, at time of Wenger's career, he had his favours, and Knights of Hector were one of his favours, that no matter what their performance was like, they were always guaranteed to start an 11th spot. So he didn't want to upset the apple cart, so to speak, there. So that, again, a part of Wenger's downfall in that sense, amongst other things. But whereas Arteta, as we're seeing, he ain't taking any crap. He ain't having all these favourites. All he's interested in is getting a winning mentality into this club, back to where it used to be, no matter by hook or by crook. And if you ain't gonna come along on that journey, it'll get you out the door. If you're going to cause issues that could bring the club into disrepute, you'll be dropped and out the door. Whereas Wenger had favourites, Arteta doesn't have favourites, and we're seeing that now.
He has Nketiah.
Listen, guys, we could talk about this all day long, but I think we should probably use this now as a good point to wrap up. Because we've been talking about the FA Cup and various topics, and but listen, thank you to everybody who's been watching. It's been brilliant on both on the Arsenal FC fans page and here on the Blind Gooner. Listen, I'm going to go around each of you in turn and just give your platforms or channels or social medias or whatever it is.
I just have an update for you. Molina just shared a video. AFTV, Lee Gunner and Robbie are creating an Arteta out bandwagon.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Who is?
Robbie and Lee Gunner. Arteta out bandwagon.
Lee Gunner, I understand. Lee Gunner, I understand.
Why is that Robbie creating that?
I have no idea. She just shared a video in the WhatsApp group. You can
probably Lee Gunner's interview.
Okay. So listen, I'll go around each of one of you in turn. So I'm going to start with Ryan. Just give your channel and shout out. And
I host the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I've been for the last about 3 years now. Come up 3 years since I launched it. And at the moment, since the football's come back, I'm doing watch-alongs with lots of Kenny Kenley. Judge, doing got a guy called Richard on there, another Arsenal YouTubers. I'm doing obviously at the moment doing quizzes as well once a week, and again Kenny Ken, and it seems to be the king of my quizzes all of a sudden. Like, so whenever he takes part, he's winning them with ease, and I mean with ease. We're going to do it again. We're doing that again this week, so it'll be a Who Am I quiz. Another person who comes on my channel is going to be hosting that. Watch-alongs, previews, reviews, and always have a great panel on. No matter who it is, always have a great panel. And again, Daniel, whenever you're available, I'd like to have you on as well.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Absolutely. And Sam Carl, I'm coming to you next.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, Daniel. I do not have a podcast yet, but everyone can follow me on Insta where I write a bit on football as well. Storyteller underscore 14 is my ID. If you guys are there on Insta, please follow me. Thank you.
Yeah. And Nitesh.
Yeah, and thank you, Daniel, again for having a good show. And it has gone to Facebook as well. So we did a cross-platform thing. And thank you, Ryan and Sankalp as well. And the debates can go on and on. As you guys know, we can have endless debates. I had more questions, but I curtailed them because we didn't want to go overboard. So yeah, but so the debates will keep happening, and we can probably do more cross-platform stuff. And you can find me on Facebook on Arsenal FC fans. And as I keep saying that I want to push this page to 1 million likes soon. I'm just waiting for the page reach. It's gone a bit down because of certain policies of Facebook, but once it's back, this page will be at 1 million likes in no time. So you can like the page if you haven't already, and it's on Facebook, Arsenal FC fans. And you can also find me on Beyond the Posts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And I have a website called beyondthepost.net where we post written content as well. Thank you.
Yeah, and so do go and follow all their socials and platforms. So please go and check out Ryan's channel, and go and check out Nitesh's Facebook page and Sam Cal's Instagram. And also subscribe here to the Blind Gooner. So listen, my next target is to get to 1,500. So I'd like to get that. So please do subscribe, and do smash a like on this video, and do share the channel, and share the content around, because the content is going to be coming thick and fast over the coming weeks, what with all the football that's going on and all the stuff that is happening. So yeah, please do all of that. And once again, thank you for tuning in. It's been a great show, and thank you to everybody who tuned in to the watch along earlier. It was brilliant. Had quite a lot of you guys watching, so thank you for that as well. Listen, we've reached the end of the show, so thank you to you guys for tuning in. Thank you to you guys on the panel, and we're going to sign off. So it's a goodbye from me and a goodbye from the panel.
Take care. We're getting thumped and everything that ends with ED against City.